sandiego.com. Well, one of San Diego's newest charter high schools is looking for the next generation of business leaders.
Open enrollment is now underway for the School for Entrepreneurship and Technology. Audra Stafford is live in Serra Mesa with how the students at SET are gearing up for a bright future. And just talking to you really early this morning, Audra, it sounds like there's some really great kids there.
Really, really great. Some of them are in the room with us right now. We are here in their robotics workshop. And these are a couple of members of the Roarbots, the all-female robotics team. We're going to be talking to them a little later in the morning as they get their robots all warmed up. But right now we're going to talk to Principal Neil McCurdy about the school, because this is kind of different from what else is going on in San Diego.
Yeah, so we're the School for Entrepreneurship and Technology, and so I think we're the first school, at least in San Diego, probably the first in the nation that marries entrepreneurship and technology. And so we think these are two essential 21st century skills that students need to acquire. And so, you know, I think technology is the obvious one. Entrepreneurship is kind of the new one, which is, you know, we think is really important for students to be able to learn how to, you know, market themselves and be able to you know, live the American dream starting a company.
And we were chatting just a few minutes ago before this, and you were saying that it's not just separate classes, like here's a class on entrepreneurship and here's a class on technology, but you really marry that into the regular subjects, math and English and all of that. It all kind of gets worked into the classroom.
Yeah, so we try really hard to bring entrepreneurship and technology into every class that we teach, and so a little bit later you're going to see a segment with students who created a Shark Tank project in their GovEcon class, so a traditional GovEcon class, but we try to bring the world of entrepreneurship, and we had the students actually pitching to live sharks and trying to get funding, and they managed to secure a patent attorney who's going to you know, hopefully help them patent the product that they created. So
pretty cool. And then, of course, you've got the robotics, which is always fun and very educational, of course. And this is a school that is a public four-year charter high school, part of San Diego Unified. But you said that anybody, anywhere in the state, if you can get here, you can attend school here.
If you can helicopter in, then we're happy to have you, yeah.
Pretty cool. And right now they're accepting applications. They only have about 40 spots left for starting in the fall semester. So if you're interested in this for your kids, you definitely want to sign up now. They're taking applications through March 1st, but again, those spots are filling up fast. I'll send it back to you.
Looks awesome. I noticed those rubber balls that are on the stands in the background. That's part of a science project, or because my sister's a teacher and they have up in Northern California, and the kids actually sit on those now for chairs. It's supposed to be better for their posture.
Those, I've heard that too. These are not actually for sitting, though. These balls are actually part of the robotics.
Gotcha.
One of the challenges is to lift the balls off the ground and to set them up onto these stands. So we might get to see a little bit more of how they use all of that a little later in the morning.
Okay. All righty. Audra, look forward.
All right, calling all budding entrepreneurs.
One of San Diego's newest charter schools is now accepting applications for the next school year.
Audra Stafford is live in Serra Mesa at the School for Entrepreneurship and Technology. These are future Shark Tankers, right?
Yes, and actually we have some students with me right now who have actually been through a Shark Tank of their own right here at the school. This is Lucas and Ryan and their invention, Rider Eye. And Lucas, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so as part of our economics project of Shark Tank, we had to come up with a new product and market it to some of the staff at the school. And so we heard that you get some extra credit for making a prototype. So we said, why not make something that we can actually make a prototype using like simple Arduinos that we've used here for other projects.
Sure.
So it's a two-part system. So right now this is the helmet, and it would have a receiver in this little box right here that would then send information to the LEDs here that light up and actually let the motorcyclist know whether there's a vehicle behind them or in their blind spot. And then mounted on the back of the motorcycle, more where the tail lights and the license plate are, would be 3 ultrasonic sensors that would be pointed in the right directions and would actually detect whether there's a vehicle over there.
Very cool, especially here in California where you can actually split lanes. I imagine this would always be useful, but especially here. And do you have anybody in your family that rides motorcycles? What made you think of this as your project?
Yeah, so my dad rides motorcycles. Ryan's dad does as well, so that's kind of what got us in the idea of a motorcycle-related product.
Okay. And is this just part of your presentation,
Yeah.
or is this part of the
So that's
setup
part of
as
the
well?
presentation.
Very cool. And so this is sort of the technology here. And then since I do have you here, Ryan, maybe explain to us a little bit about what this is, because you said this is simple. This is something you've used before, but this is
Yes.
new to most people at home, probably.
So each of these here are their ultrasonic sensors. Most modern cars have them as a beeping sound when you back up.
Okay.
So it's the same technology there, and then this is just a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, like in a cell phone, how it talks on Wi-Fi. And then here we have a microcontroller. This one happens to be Arduino. Any microcontroller works. And then this is, so it's reading the distances, it's processing them, and then it's sending them over to the helmet where it processes them into the correct colors for the LEDs.
Very cool. Thanks so much for sharing this technology with us. I want to talk to your teacher, Ms. V, who is the one who kind of inspired this whole project. What was the idea behind doing this Shark Tank experiment?
Well, for the economics class, we wanted to incorporate entrepreneurship into the course. So I used the idea from the Shark Tank television show, and I just gave that same idea to the students. I had them come up with their own company, their own brand, their own budget, and their own products to sell. So the students that did the best had the opportunity to present to venture capitalists that were invited here to the school, and then out of that actually came the boys are working with a patent lawyer right now to promote and continue with their product. So they just did such a great job. We're just really proud of them.
That's really fantastic. And this is just one of the many programs here at the School for Entrepreneurship and Technology. I have the principal here with me now, and this is just such a neat thing, and it's something that anybody throughout California, and certainly anyone throughout the county, can apply to be a student here, and you're accepting applications now.
Yeah, so we have, this is a charter school, and so anyone can apply, and we have 40 spots available now, so we'd love to have people come and apply. We've got continuing enrollment, so if anybody is interested in joining us this year, they're welcome to try applying this year as well.
Fantastic. And those applications are being accepted through March 1st, so if it's something you're interested in, then definitely check this out. It's a pretty neat program. We're going to be talking to their female robotics team coming up in our next hour, and I'm going to get a chance to try a little bit of the robotics myself. I'll send it back to you guys.
I think the helmet idea is a great idea, but have they been able to test it at all?
That's a great question. Have you guys been actually able to test the helmet out in the world?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so that's hopefully coming.
Yeah.
Maybe
wonder,
getting some backing from those local sharks will help out
Sure,
with
but
that too.
even from the standpoint of just putting the helmet on and the sense from a motorcyclist, whether or not something like that would be helpful or might be a little distracting, if they've been getting any feedback like that, even if they can't, take it on the road yet.
Sure. I can tell you I put on the helmet for a little while, and I could definitely see I started kind of trying to walk near tables and things like that to see if that would make any difference. Lucas, have you guys tried it with your dads, just putting it on to see if they thought something like that would be helpful to them when they're out there on the road?
No, not yet. We were going to, but this time constraints got a little in the way.
Sure. Really just in the prototype stages now, and hopefully much more to come, because this does seem like really great technology you guys have created here.
Most definitely, yeah.
All right, great ideas, though. Thank you so much, Audra.
Oh, chocolate lover.
Schoolers are helping give back to children affected by Hurricane Harvey. Today, students at the School of Entrepreneurship and Technology in Serra Mesa loaded up cars with nearly 200 backpacks for kids in need. Each one is stuffed full of school supplies and handwritten messages of encouragement.
Makes me feel pretty good. Makes me feel good that I'm helping out these people and, really making a difference. It's the right thing to do.
Volunteers will drive from San Diego to Galveston, Texas this weekend to deliver all of these supplies.
Okay, nowadays getting into college almost as hard as college itself. Time-consuming, difficult. If you go into the process without a plan ahead of time, it can be downright intimidating. Today's guest, Dr. Tom Cesarini from the School for Entrepreneurship and Technology. It's right up the street here. He says getting organized now can ease the pain.
Thanks for having me. First of all, I would appreciate being here. You know, it's an exciting time for students going to college. It's also fraught with anxiety and
But
stuff.
it's harder now than ever before. My day, all you do is send a resume and hope you get it. Okay.
My day too.
All right, tip one, don't procrastinate, get organized.
Don't. It's a month-long process. You really want to get on top of it to really relieve that stress and anxiety and really be a part of this game because it is, you know, very competitive nowadays. Not like you and I
Sure.
were going.
All right, deadlines. They're out there, but they can really get away from you.
The old adage, seize the day. You really got to get on top of it. Have a system in place, whether it's index cards or online Excel spreadsheet, where you can organize your deadlines, organize what the requirements are for
Should you have a calendar? I mean, literally
Calendar
a
is
calendar
very
that's got dates on it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
that you're always being reminded. Okay.
Absolutely.
Don't sell yourself short.
No, this is the time to put your best foot forward. Don't be shy. Assert yourself. Let your voice come through because, again, it's very competitive right now, more so than ever.
And admission office, they see more in that information than you see in yourself often.
Absolutely. They'll look through it. They know what to look for. They know what they're looking for, and they can see a great candidate.
Have 3 tiers of target schools. What do you mean?
Sure, options. You know, you want to have options. You want that target goal school that you want to hit and apply to, but also your numbers will dictate a lot, your GPA, your test scores. So be realistic, of course, but don't sell yourself short again and apply to that school that, you know, you want to get into. Apply to those schools that you know you're going to get into because you've got the grades for them and the scores. That there's a likelihood that you'll get in there.
And that takes us into the fifth step, which is the school you choose is a really important decision. It's not just academics, it's the school life. It's everything else.
Other factors, whether athletics are important to a college goer, to the applicant, culture, location, of course, if you're moving out of our city or even locally. Where do you want to be located? And, you know, it's a 4-year journey. So it's going to dictate a lot as you move forward. It's a really important decision.
Appreciate you being here, Tom.
Thank
and
you,
folks, this guy really knows what he's talking about. He helped put Little Italy on the map.
Wow. Thank you.
Well, you did. You've written books, about it. Your family goes back way back.
Way back.
And Little Italy used to be a little neighborhood that people didn't know was there.
Yep.
And writing about it and
great progress. Yeah. Glad to be part of the neighborhood.
It is one of a kind.
They're doing great work there.
All right.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
You.
Happy holidays.
Same to you. Thanks for having me.
Guys.
I can't wait to see what it produces.
One of San Diego's newest charter high schools is looking for the next generation of business leaders.
Open enrollment is now underway for the School for Entrepreneurship and Technology. Audra Stafford is live in Serra Mesa with how the students at SET are gearing up for a bright future. Audra.
Well, some of those students are doing that through robotics, and we're in their robotics workshop here at the School for Entrepreneurship and Technology. And I have members of the Roarbots. This is the all-girls robotics team here at SET, and I have their captain here. So tell us a little bit about the team. Introduce your teammates.
So my name is Grace. This is Keely, Naya and Abby. Keely and Naya are sort of the head mechanical engineers at this point.
Okay. And you kind of make sure everybody is staying on task?
Yeah, I make sure everybody's on task and building, and I'm the one who's sort of teaching them because I have a year more experience than they do.
Okay.
Because this was everybody except for my first year doing robotics.
And you're kind of the one that came up with this whole all-girls team, too.
Yeah, I was at orientation, and I was like, hey, you want to join robotics? And they were like, no. And I was like, there's an all-girls team. And they're like, So,
And now you're competing, you're doing all kinds of cool things, and you have this lovely lady here, and her name?
Rosalind.
Rosalind. Okay, and you're going to show us a little bit about how Rosalind works. And this isn't just something that you control, but you ladies actually built Rosalind.
That's correct.
That's pretty cool.
So, right here we have our flywheels.
Okay.
If you feed a ball into, here, Naya, you want to? So just start this.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Launches balls.
Okay.
We have our...
Can we see that again? All right, we're going to try that again. Nice. And so when you're at a competition, are you actually trying to launch those towards something or into something?
The goal is to collect them and launch them into the basket. There's blue balls and red balls, and you launch them into the appropriate colored basket.
Okay, so she launches balls. What else can she do?
She can press buttons. These, let's see. These little guys over here are typically mounted on the edge of this field.
Okay.
And you're supposed to press the buttons, and one side starts out as red and one side starts out as blue, and whichever team you're on, you press that color, and then it makes the whole thing that color. And then you get a lot of points for that.
Very cool. And then she can also drive all around, too.
Correct.
You're going to show me a little bit of how to do that and how to control her?
So, to
And
drive...
how long did it take to actually build Rosalind?
Well, I mean, we had it driving within a month or so, but the whole putting this on and putting that on, that all was very, like, we put it on and we had to take something apart, and there was a lot of building the whole thing over again, almost.
So this is pretty cool, and I know that more and more schools are getting into robotics and learning how to do all of this sort of thing, but you are doing so much more because you've got the robotics piece of it, but there's also this entrepreneurship part of it at this school. How does that kind of factor in, and why do you think that's so important to be at a school that offers that?
I mean, it helps to start a robotics team in the first place. Like, you got to be kind of ready to start something.
Sure.
And so starting a robotics team could be good practice for starting something later on, like a company or whatever.
And why would you recommend, right now it's open enrollment here, students can come and apply if they want to attend here. Why would you say a student should come to this school versus maybe a regular high school?
Well, I mean, the teachers here are awesome, like so much better than any other school I've been to, pretty much. And
Pretty glowing recommendation from the students. And would you ladies agree?
Definitely.
Yeah. Very
because
cool.
they really want us to succeed and are willing to help if you ask for help. So that's one of my favorite parts about this school. There's also a lot of variety in electives so that you can choose, you know, what your favorite thing is to do and then get more experience with that. So like a mini college experience almost.
Very cool. And again, that open enrollment happening right now. Can I try it real quick?
Yeah. So both
Basic
forward is
joystick?
forward,
Okay.
both back is back, and then one forward and one back is turn.
See, just a brief lesson and I'm already getting her to drive, so that just tells you if the students are this good, the teachers must be really good. Again, open enrollment continue. Oh,
Careful.
Try not to break that.
We're more worried about you than the robot.
Open enrollment continues through March 1st. They only have about 40 spots left right now, so if this is something you're interested in for your students starting in the fall, then you definitely want to get involved now and get signed up for your chance to get your student here. I'll send it back to you guys.
I just love the original thought coming out of these young people. Gives you hope for the future. Audra, thank you so much for that.